I've been playing a lot of Tarkov and it's finally burnt me out. Something I've had a lot of problems with lately is I'm just a one game kind of guy. You see, I get my hands on a new game that I like and I grind it to the bone until it's completely exasperated. I used to not be that way. When I was a kid, I was always getting Game Informers, I was always keeping up with the new releases. And if there was something that piqued my interest, I was saving my money and I was buying it day one. And I hoarded games, I had a ton of games. And I would hop back and forth between all of them all the time. You know, one minute I'm playing Mass Effect, next minute I'm playing Far Cry 2. I think I really started to become a one game kind of person when I got my first PC. See, on PC I learned the beauty of Steam sales. Steam is notorious for having crazy cheap deals on games where they're pennies. They're pennies. Games are pennies. And I started hoarding games again like normal. But the thing that happened, the thing I noticed is when I don't pay full price for a game, or at least a pretty high amount for a game, I don't have as much drive to push through it if it's not immediately catching my interest. And it wasn't just Steam sales, it was Humble Monthly and now Game Pass. And if I get a game for dollars or just included with my Game Pass, if it's not blowing me away within the first 15 minutes, I drop it. Don't have the attention span for it. But my one game, Tarkov, it finally burnt me out. And I was like, well, I'm gonna take a break. I wanna play something different, you know? I wanna keep going back to Tarkov, but I need something else to take my mind off of that. I'm sitting in Discord with my buds, they're playing Halo. I'm like, I'll give that a re-download. You know, I played it when it first came out. I liked it. It had its issues, didn't have a lot of content on release. I liked it. But I also only played it for like a month. So now I'm knee deep in some Halo Infinite. I didn't know that.
No. No! You bastard, you can't run.
One of the things that bugged me about the game initially was they monetized the hell out of one of my favorite parts of Halo, which is decorating my cool little Spartan, putting funny little things on him, you know, putting cool little shoulder pads, putting a different helmet on. If you don't know anything about Halo Infinite, they did this thing called armor cores with each season pass. Now, when they first announced this, I was excited about it because I was like, oh boy. You know, they're really gonna go all the way with this customization. So first season pass comes out, we got Halo Reach armor core, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be able to get some Halo Reach armor parts. They can only be used on the core that comes with the pass, which is like, why? The amount of customization you could have if you could interchange the parts would be insane. But you could only mix and match Halo Reach parts. And I'm sure there might have been some technical reasons why they couldn't just do it multi-core right off the bat like they're doing now. But I'm more than positive that there was someone standing over 343, or 343 themselves was like, we gotta get some numbers, we gotta get some dollars coming in right now. Let's charge people for armor that they can't use with their other passes. Now by doing this, if you wanted to get any of the other armor, you had to buy the passes. You're stuck with that core for that pass. Now they're doing the multi-core support, but it's too little too late, but I still appreciate the change. However, I hate paying money for customization. I hate that so much. I get it. I'd rather pay money for something else. I'd rather pay for the game. Halo Infinite multiplayer is free. I'd rather pay for it and get free customization. That's just me. I have another video where I kind of talked about that. I don't think I've ever paid for cosmetics in a game except for maybe Maple Story and a Flash game called TDP4 Team Battle, and both of those were when I was a young boy. Now I'm an old boy who saves money. So I refuse to buy the season passes to get any of the armor, and I'm looking like a default Danny, and I'm like, oh well, this sucks, because I don't know, just don't feel like I can express myself. And I'm just like skimming the unlocks to see if there's anything, because you know, I'm looking, I've got some stuff unlocked. I'm like, I unlocked it somehow. So I'm browsing through all the stuff, and I notice you can get armor coatings through the campaign. It's like, I'd like to look a little different. You know, I'm using mostly default armor. I want something a little different. I want to at least be a color people don't have a lot. And so, I nearly 100%ed it in about 10-12 hours. And I got every possible armor coating that you can get, every emblem, everything that you can get from the campaign. Awesome, cool. Also found out, hey, guess what? Those colors only work for one armor core. Whatever, fine. But at least my guy's looking a little different. At least my person's looking different. But while I was doing that, when I was playing Halo Infinite campaign, a little spark, a little glimmer from the past, a little twinkle in my eye, I remembered how good it felt to just play games. Just play games for the hell of it. See, I've been so consumed by, just competitive games. I don't know. Shooters. It's been a long time since I just let myself play a single player game. And I forgot how much I can enjoy video games. I revitalized my love for them. And after I beat Halo, I think Halo is a really good casual starting place for this kind of game because, you know, it's open world, it's got all these cool little sandbox elements to it, but it's nothing crazy. It's not a lot of stuff, it's not overwhelming, it's pretty straightforward. I beat it, so I'm like, I want something else like that. I want another open world game where I can go around, have fun in the sandbox, and collect cool little items, cool little trinkets. So I'm browsing around. What do I got? What do I got? Looking at my Steam library. What do I got? What do I got? What do I got? What do I got? Well, there's got to be something in here I want to play. I'm looking at it. You know, just getting bored. Just looking at everything I got, looking at all the games I got, like at least 200 games. Boring, like no interest at all. And I'm looking through Game Pass, and I see Far Cry 6. Now, Far Cry is a series I haven't touched since 4. I haven't bought a new entry since 4. And 4 was probably one of the last games I bought on console. And Far Cry 4 was probably one of the last games I bought brand new on a console. Not including Switch games. It's looking a little fucked up. Far Cry 4 soured my Far Cry enjoyment a little bit. I think it was just more Far Cry 3, which was the problem for me because it was more of everything that was annoying in Far Cry 3. The minute that it's like, hey, do some more activities before you go do this, I'm bored. I do not want to do that. This is not rewarding. This isn't fun. I beat Far Cry 4, but after that I was kind of like, I'm done. And then I ended up getting Assassin's Creed Origins, another Ubisoft open world game, for free with a graphics card. And so I try it out. And it's so close to being good. And then they throw in like gear leveling. Who's this for? I get RPGs and having like stats and leveling and all that, but we're talking an action adventure game from Ubisoft. I got a whole separate gripe about that. So I just pretty much steered clear of Ubisoft entirely, except for Rainbow Six Siege. I think that was like the only other thing I've played from them. And Watch Dogs. I had fun with Watch Dogs 1 and 2. I'm looking at Game Pass, front page. Far Cry 6 is on there now. I saw Far Cry 5 before and always contemplated trying it out just because it was on Game Pass, but I'd already seen my friend Garrett play it, and I could already tell it's not that great. But I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm Googling. I'm trying to find shit online from people, and this is funny. I'm like, open world games with customization, decorate your character, da-da-da-da-da. Everybody's like, oh, Phantasy Star Online, play Phantasy Star Online. Oh, play Final Fantasy 13, 14, whatever, the online one. I don't want that. I just want to go around in the world and get rewarded with cool little things. I don't want to bother with stats. I don't want to bother with grinding. I just want to get things. I just want to collect objects. Just like collecting. That's what I like to do. Booting into Far Cry 6, I could already tell something was different and it was better for it. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about what it is. I think somewhere along the line, Ubisoft realized, hey, people love exploring our worlds and finding good things that are valuable to them, stuff that doesn't just raise percentages up by like 3%, like things that are just cool stuff to have that you don't even need. You could probably get through Far Cry 6 pretty easily without using a single article of clothing that you find. The clothing, this is, okay, so skill tree, stripped it out. It's not there anymore. You've got your entire tool set from the very beginning. All of your little abilities and skills, you can do them all. Great. I love that. I love that. All of the items you find, we're not talking about like gear levels, we're not talking about percentages. It's like, hey, here's this hat, and this hat does this. This is what it does. It's not like sitting there finding, you know, slightly better hat, slightly better hat, slightly better hat. It's like, here's the hat, here's what it does. Do you want that effect? Wear it. Nice. I like that. I like that. That's very rewarding to me because Far Cry 6 still has the grindy aspect. They've really trimmed it up. It's down to a T now. And I actually have fun going through it now because the rewards I get out of it are worth it. I'm either getting a new little piece of clothing to wear, or I'm getting a unique gun, or I'm finding a regular gun that I can upgrade and decorate how I like to. We're not talking about random stupid stuff. And when it is like the dumb crafting stuff, they stripped the crafting down where you don't even have to worry about crafting that much. Crafting is almost non-existent. It's not even really crafting, it's more like, hey, here's currency to purchase upgrades, and it goes for everything. So it's like you upgrade facilities at your hideout that give you good bonuses for upgrading them. They don't just give you like percentages. The minute I start seeing percentages, my brain is just like, I don't like that. I don't like percentages. I want something to tell me, hey, you're not gonna die so good. That's nice. So I'm hooked. I'm hooked on it. Something that still persists in Far Cry 6 that has bugged me since Far Cry 3 is a weird little thing they do where they encourage you to approach the game how you want to. Ubisoft's always like being like, oh yeah, you could start a fire over here and distract all the soldiers, or you could, you know, throw a grenade into their back pocket and watch them die, or you could, you know, kiss their wife. They always tout all this, but then you go and you complete an outpost. And I decided to do it stealthily, and it's like, boom, no alarms raised. Here's your bonus for doing it stealthily. Why in a game where every method is approved am I getting a bonus for one particular style? This isn't the worst thing, but it's just like, it's just crazy. But it just seems detrimental to what they wanted you, the player, to do.
How you handle those people is up to you. You might be able to do this and not be noticed.
Hey, sometimes it's good to be noticed.
Gilberto says part of the building is being renovated, so if you see construction, chances are there'll be less people.
Thanks for the tip.
Stay sharp. The combatiente is still here.
Ugly building, ugly business.
This got me thinking a lot about like games that encourage you to pursue your own play styles. I've always found myself usually picking the play style that rewards the best because that's what I like. I like collecting. And if there's a way I can play the game that gets me more stuff, then that's the way I do it. But it's not the most fun to me. Now, I do like stealth, but I'm more of a predator type. I like the everybody knows you're there, but they don't know where the hell you are. That's fun. I like that. I like messing with the folks, you know. And I was thinking back to all the other games I've played that are like that, and I thought about like Skyrim, you know, like Stealth Archer in Skyrim is completely broken. I remember like killing the final boss in Skyrim, whatever the hell his name was, the big dragon, in like a few shots because my critical multipliers, you know, and I'm so hard to see, and I'm just like completely invisible practically. Like, it was uneventful. Sure, it was fast, and that was my reward for playing it that way, is look, you beat the game way quicker than you would have any other way. But you know what? I didn't enjoy myself. It was tedious. Sneaking around everywhere constantly. It's tedious. Hitman is a good game that encourages you to be stealth, but it lets you be stealth how you want to. The new Hitman, I kind of wish it had the little newspaper deal. I remember in Hitman Blood Money how after you finished a contract, there would be like a little newspaper spread at the end of the mission that was detailing how you did, but from the perspective of investigators. That was really cool. I like that. And it doesn't really punish you for not being stealthy enough. You're just getting a different ranking. And I also feel like Metal Gear Solid 5 also did a good job of, hey, play it how you want to. And then, you know, Metal Gear Solid 5, it's a stealth game, but they're also kind of like, you know, do it how you like. And I was thinking, what other kind of play styles do people like? You know, how does this kind of thing bother other people? Do other people have a hard time finding games that let them play the way they want to play? And it's not like every game should be fun for every single person. That would be crazy. But if your game is touting ultimate freedom, or, you know, playing how you like and doing what you want to get the objective done, then why as a developer are you stifling that? Stifling. Why are you stifling that as a developer if that's what you want in your game? I did a lot of thinking about it. I feel like it has to do a lot with AI in general. I don't know anything about developing like NPC AI, but I imagine if you put AI into an NPC that goes something along the lines of players not in view, act normal, player gets in view, act hostile, it's probably hard to stack a bunch of different kinds of behaviors like that. If stealth is an option, you're gonna have that, oh, when we don't know what's going on, we're deactivated. When we do know what's going on, we're searching. We're playing cat and mouse. Something I realized, and maybe what could have got me into competitive shooters, and not even competitive, throwing that word around loosely. I guess just what I mean is multiplayer shooters / fighting against human people games is, I mean, that's just the ultimate AI. That's just the ultimate NPC, is another human being. Because that's somebody that's actively thinking and reacting to the decisions you make. Me and my brother Nathan used to play Rainbow Six Vegas 2 all the time, and we played the hell out of that. And there's a mode on it called Terrorist Hunt where you can just kind of run through it over and over on different different maps. And you know, we got to a point where we were getting kind of bored with it, and we realized, hey, let's just sprint in. Like, let's just run straight in there. This was before there was a sprint button, I'm pretty sure, in every game, but there might have been, I can't remember. But we were like, let's just sprint in there. And the AI did not know what the fuck was going on. They were like, shit. I thought I was gonna have to hunt this guy down. Now he's right in front of me spraying me. Human players don't do that. Human players do what human players do, and that's play the game how they want to play. I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know what kind of technology needs to be made, but if we could get NPCs to that level of versatility, if we could get NPCs to that level of versatility, that'd be swell. That would be swell. That would be just fine by me. And like I said, every game's not for everybody, and they don't have to be. I think at the end of the day, what I want games to be, and I'm sitting here complaining, what I want games to be is fun. I mean, games at the end of the day should just be fun. It should be fun. Whatever your game is trying to do, whatever you set out to accomplish when developing it, it needs to make me want to do that. It needs to make the player want to play along with your game. And that's something I felt like Far Cry 6 pretty much does really well. Honestly, even the stealth thing is a little bit just nitpicky on my end, but I want to go liberate the outposts. I want to go do these missions because I'm getting good things. I think where it becomes a problem is when you put a method in the game that makes you avoid playing the game normally in order to succeed. And that happens in online multiplayer games as well, where you hear about like meta and all that stuff all the time. You hear about, oh, this gun's the new meta, everybody use this gun, and then you practically have no choice but to also use that gun because everybody's using the gun because they found out, oh, it's broken, you know, use the gun, it's broken. And then it's like, yay, I don't get to use the things I want to use. I get to use what everybody's using because it's the meta. So recently a little wild card got thrown at me, and I was, playing some games with my buds, and one of my boys, DK Zoro on YouTube, he was talking about playing GTA 5 roleplay servers. And I was like, I've always been curious about that. I'll give it a try. And it turned out to be really, really easy to do. I always assumed it was going to be way more complicated than that. I was wrong. It's damn easy. Shit. Nah, it's as simple as downloading FiveM and also having GTA 5 installed. That's all you gotta do. And FiveM is just a server browser. It lets you browse roleplay servers. So you get on there, and it's really interesting because this is one of the biggest examples of player choice affecting the game in a positive way. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto Online, you probably know it can just be I remember seeing the trailers for GTA Online when they were first talking about it, and they were talking about just this huge community-driven experience, and even still there's like all this promotional art. Like, they really make it out like, oh, you're going to really be in a biker gang. You're really going to own a business and run Los Santos. No. They don't do that. It's doing missions. It's doing more missions. So you can buy better guns, I guess. I mean, I guess that's the end goal, is to buy better stuff for you to dick on people with. Because that's all that's ever happening in the free roam, is just people flying around in jets or ramming you with their armored cars, just destroying your life, not letting you have any fun. Roleplay servers, by some miracle, everybody's collaborating. Now, I would love to see some Rockstar money pumped into it. I hope they pump some money into it with Grand Theft Auto 6. It'd be a missed opportunity if they don't. I understand why they wouldn't, because them shark cards, they're making that money with the shark cards. In roleplay, there's no need to buy money. You can't buy money, I don't think, unless there's a way to donate to a server and get money. I don't think so. If there was, you really wouldn't even need to. Me and DK are playing, and we drive up to this place guarded by this gang, and DK's in the gang, but not in the same gang. And mind you, all of these gangs are just groups of people. There's not a single NPC in this server. So all these gangs are like groups of people that get together on Discord and, talk shit and cry and comfort each other. And pull up to this place where you get some drugs to sell. That's another thing. I don't understand what use they actually have, because I don't think you can take them. I haven't tried. But anyway, you pull up to the place. They're like, all right, entry's 100K. DK flashes his gang. His gang is friendly with their gang. And so they're like, okay. And then they see me in the back. They're like, who's this in the back? He's got to pay. And these are just players guarding the gate to this place where drugs are made, charging people to get in solely because they can and they want to. This is just pure human choice, and I think it's really interesting. I guess the point to all of this is, don't play games that aren't fun to you. I think you should give all games an honest chance. Like, if you're not sure about a game, like if it's definitely not a genre you like, throw it in the trash. Fuck it. But if you're on the fence about it, give it an honest chance, But if after your chance and you're still not liking it, don't even waste your time with it. I'm not recommending you blow all your money on games either. So just do it responsibly. But just don't do anything that doesn't make you happy. And honestly, that's kind of life in general. You shouldn't be doing anything just because it's satisfying somebody else. If it's making you feel miserable doing it, you shouldn't be doing it because it's making someone else happy. If someone else is getting happy off of you being miserable, you probably don't want to be around that person. That person's probably not good for you. If you're in a situation like that right now, you should probably take a look at it. And that person should probably take a look at themselves and reflect on themselves. Because enjoyment should never have to stem from someone else being unhappy. Just like video games. Take care, everybody.
All about my Gouda. She start fire and I'm robbing. Slapping on the cat so the wet click throbbing. Pounding on the pussy like my dick and it was boxing. And I ain't stopping till we get to the console.